What's up, everybody? Vince, and this is going to be the early breakdown video of Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje and why that might not be such a one-sided matchup as it's perceived to be. Hope you enjoy the video. As for the main event with Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje, now, since this fight was announced, you could see all over online, even from some of the MMA experts, everyone is assuming that Justin doesn't have a shot here. But I do think that he's being taken a little bit too lightly, not from Topuria's side, but maybe from the entire fan base and some of the other UFC fighters, including some of the lightweight guys. I think that's a mistake, and Topuria in the past has always game planned for his opponent super well. I don't suspect that he's taking Justin lightly. A lot of times in Topuria's interviews, you'll see him appear very confident. He predicts these wins before they happen. A lot of that is just, I think, his own his own mentality on fighting and what he does to be successful. He's always visualized his wins before they happen. I mean, before the Charles Oliveira fight, he was already celebrating the night before. Now, that could come off as arrogant. I just think it's his way of mentally processing the fight and keeping himself at 100%. For this matchup, how I think it could go, based on the history of both of these guys, I do think there's avenues for Justin to win, but he has to be on point throughout this entire fight. I don't think there's any room for error. Charles decided to do one exchange with Topuria and was put out right away within 2 to 3 minutes in the first round. And he wasn't doing too badly on the feet before that. But that's the only opening Topuria needs. And in the past, Justin has gotten overzealous in certain matchups, like the Michael Chandler fight, both Dustin Poirier fights. And there is an opening to hurt Justin and possibly put him away, especially considering he was knocked out for the first time in his career by Max Holloway. How the matchup could play out, though, is you could see Justin have a similar approach to his approach in the second Rafael Fiziev fight, where he stays on the outside, uses his footwork, uses his leg kicks, uses the uppercut very frequently when he is inside the pocket. I think there's a good chance you could see the same approach. Trevor Whitman works great game plans with Justin, helps guide him through the Tony Ferguson fight when nobody was able to beat Tony Ferguson like that. And I don't think Justin's a man that you could count out in any fight, period. As for Topuria, though, some of the paths to victory for him, it's just he has that one-punch knockout power. It's played a factor in all of his recent fights. And similar to Alex Pereira, he's able to just end a fight with one shot or change the trajectory of a fight so significantly just based off of one punch. Now, he's not a one-punch fighter, though. He has grappling as well, as we saw in the beginning of the Charles Oliveira fight, and he has great kicks. And I do think he'll utilize them, especially when he's trying to get inside and find his range with Justin. Now, Justin can be left open, especially when exchanges start to happen and Justin can be taken out of his game. I think that's going to be the key for Topuria, to try to overwhelm him early, try to get him close to the cage, start an exchange, and then take advantage of it. And I think that path to victory is relatively straightforward for him. It's just going to be a matter of finding the shots and landing frequently. I think he should rely on volume a little bit early in the fight, because I do think that Justin is viewing this as possibly the last fight of his career, or at least the last title fight of his career. I don't think we'll see Justin taking too many risks, or at least hopefully not for his own sake. And so I think Topuria has to take his time early, ensure that he doesn't get overzealous trying to finish the fight. Now, for Justin, both of these guys have the same reach. So even though Justin's a good bit taller than Ilia Topuria, they both have a 69-inch reach. Now, this plays a factor because a lot of times the shorter fighter that has either the same reach or a reach advantage, I would put more value in that reach advantage than if a taller fighter has it in the same matchup, just because it's a little bit more unexpected. We see that a lot in Alexander Volkanovski fights, saw it a lot in his second fight with Diego Lopez, where he's able to just land shots where some of his opponents just don't expect him to get to at the same distance. I do think this could play a factor in the fight, given that Justin, in order to land his own boxing combinations, he's going to have to get into the fire a little bit. It's just going to be a question of, can he keep himself safe when he gets there? Now, some other factors in this fight would be the grappling. I don't think Topuria will be able to grapple Justin Gaethje, but I do think Justin could grapple Ilia Topuria, just based on the weight difference that I think will come on fight night. I think that Topuria, coming from featherweight, is not as filled out as a lightweight as Justin Gaethje is. I mean, Justin weighed 185 pounds in the Paddy Pimblett fight. Do I think he'll weigh 185 pounds again? No, because there was a lot of speculation that Justin was sick in the Paddy Pimblett fight, and he looked a lot heavier than he previously did in other matchups. I think Justin, it's reasonable to assume that he's going to come in a little bit lighter, maybe 170, 175. He's going to use his footwork a lot. I think that would be a good game plan for him. But in the grappling department, I think if Justin decides to go there, he has the wrestling background to at least keep Topuria guessing. Especially early in the fight, I think going to the grappling could be a great idea. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, not saying he'll be able to take him down, but I think with Topuria, to take some of the heat off of those shots, you have to mix some grappling in early. Low risk grappling, maybe some clinch work, a few double legs. You definitely don't want to get put on your back with Topuria either. His base was a grappling, did have a grappling base, so you're taking a risk there too if you get taken down by him. But I think some early clinch work would do Justin Gaethje well in this fight, especially if he could land some leg kicks in the clinch like he used to in the very beginning of his UFC career. And another factor too in this fight, I think, is the head kicks. Anytime there's a fight between two strikers where there's a 4-inch or more height difference, I think you always have to factor in head kicks to the equation. And in particular for Topuria, I'm sure most fans know, most fighters know that one instance where Topuria was in trouble for his entire career, which was the Jai Herbert fight. Now, that was, I think a 1 in a million shot that Herbert was able to land. It came at a very unexpected angle. They were in boxing range, and Jai decided to throw a left head kick, and it caught Topuria perfectly, given that Topuria was trying to throw his own boxing combination. Perfect shot. But I do believe that if Justin could mix in some head kicks, especially if he does a great job of landing leg kicks early in the fight, I do think that that's another avenue for him to get ahead in this fight. Especially if they're close range, if he could catch Topuria, get him used to boxing exchanges, maybe he could mix in some head kicks there. He did a great job of landing an off the clinch head kick against Rafael Fiziev in the second fight. And yeah, mainly just talking about all these points just so that, everyone realizes this could be a close fight. This might not be a dominant performance like it's suspected to be. Obviously, with Topuria's power, if he lands one shot, that could change the entire trajectory of the fight. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit of a competitive fight here. So yeah, that will conclude the first early breakdown of Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje. Let me know what you think of this video and what some of your early predictions for this fight will be. Do you think it's going to be a one-sided victory for Ilia Topuria, or do you think Justin Gaethje has a chance in this fight? But yeah, leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for some more upcoming videos on the UFC world. There's plenty of things to talk about for these next few weeks. We have tons of events coming up. So yeah, see you soon.